Hey everyone, I just got in a brand new lens, the Sigma 85 1.4 DG Art, and this lens is pretty massive, as you can see, compared to Greg's 85 1.4. This has an 86 millimeter filter thread, and the Nikon 85 1.4G is 77 millimeter. And today we're going to check for sharpness, the bokeh, to check the smoothness of each lens, and even focusing speed. Also just the overall feel of the lenses and how it renders pictures. Later on in the video, we'll compare the pictures in Lightroom or maybe Capture One. And our model today is Alyssa.
Hi, my name is Alyssa French. I work with James every so often. I'm excited to do this bike shoot.
Yeah, I haven't did a bike shoot in a while. I think maybe 5 years that I actually did a model and a motorcycle. But Alyssa's my good friend, and I know every time we work together we always get awesome pictures. And Greg helped us out before with 105 1.4e video, and he also lent us his 85 1.4. Greg, do you have any assumptions on which lens do you think might be better overall?
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing what we get today for results. I think this is going to be a real interesting comparison, just because of the price differences. I mean, the Nikon 85 is my go-to lens, so I may be a little biased, but yeah, I'm really curious to see what our results look like today.
And when I first unboxed this lens and felt it, it felt really good. And I noticed also when you felt it, you also commented like, wow, this feels really good.
Yeah, construction quality, just right out of the box, feels really nice. It's a far cry from the Sigmas of old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The older Sigma 85 1.4 had focusing problems. It would always jump back and forth, and when it would focus, the subject would be blurry. So I hope Sigma did fix it in this new version. All right, we'll start shooting. I noticed with both lenses, the Sigma and the Nikon, it's very, very hard to tell which controls flare better and which is sharper. Pixel peeping in the camera, I couldn't tell which lens was sharper, but maybe on the computer I could tell. And I don't see any color cast differences. Also, flare seems pretty well controlled with the sun coming down behind Alyssa while she's on the back. Well, with using the Sigma and the Nikon, there's a huge weight difference. The difference is really noticeable. With the 85 1.4G, it is very light. It is easy for me to hold the camera, easy for me to maneuver it around and change from landscape to portrait. With the Sigma that Greg is using right now, it is very front heavy, and it feels not really balanced with the camera. But it does feel really great quality, the Sigma. And then when I swap back to the 85 1.4G, it feels like, I don't want to say this, but like a plastic toy almost, compared to the Sigma, which is really beefy and feels like it has better construction. With sharpness, looking at the photos from the back of the camera, it is still very hard to tell which lens is sharper. But from pixel peeping and zooming in, it seems like the Sigma is slightly sharper than the Nikon. Sometimes the Nikon, I can tell it's sharp, but there's a slight haze. With the Sigma, it is very sharp. But I need to get on the computer to compare the pictures between both lenses. We've been shooting for a while. As you can see, the sun is going down and we're going to move location soon, but in terms of bokeh, on which has a creamier bokeh, it's very hard to tell again just looking at the camera. So we want to go to Two Lovers Point, about a couple miles down that way, so we can get some in the city lights, so we can get some bokeh balls to see which is more smoother. But it's really hard to tell, like both lenses pretty much produce like similar results in camera. I just want to give special thanks to Devin for letting us use his bike for Alyssa's photo shoot, and Angelina, she's the part of the Alyssa's fan club, maybe only one member. But just looking through the photos on my camera using both the Sigma 85 1.4 Art and the Nikon 85 1.4G, pictures are almost identical, very similar, and I'm going to show you on the computer how the bokeh from the city lights look like. It's very identical, and the price point, Sigma brand new, you can get it for $1,200. If you looked on the used market, the Nikon 85 is about, the lowest I've seen it is at $1,000 or even $1,100. So both pretty much at the same price point, Nikon used or Sigma brand new. And it really depends what you're going to be using it for. For me personally, I would go with the Nikon because it is a smaller lens and lighter, easier to travel with and go around. This you may need to get, as Greg was saying earlier, different filters because the filter size is 86 millimeter.
Keep going a little bit.
So I'm going to bother Greg here.
A little bit more dramatic turn, thank you. Yeah, go ahead, James.
What lens would you prefer, the Sigma or Nikon?
So for today, I mean, like I said, I'm already partial for the Nikon. I like the weight, but for initial entry, I think we're talking about the price difference. I think that's what it really comes down to. If you already had a set of filters from your other lenses, then maybe it's worth just staying Nikon to keep those filters, filter sizes the same, so you don't have to buy a whole new set of filters. But build quality wise, I mean, gosh, they're both build quality. I do like the balance of the Nikon because it's a little bit lighter, but I would never be I mean, that's a tank, it's going to hold up forever. So
hard to travel with, actually.
Yeah, you're right, that's true. If you're an adventurer, hiker, backpacker, want to carry it in very far, it's going to be kind of tough. But I mean, the quality's there, which I think is what people used to balk on as far as third-party lenses go. And just our pixel peeping, we didn't see too much.
Very identical.
Quality, you're right. So I'll be really interested to see when you zoom in
on the
computer and see what it looks like. So, I mean, for me, I'm a Nikon. I've been using it, so I like it, so I'll stick with it. Okay.
Alyssa, you have any opinions about the photo shoot? This is your first bike shoot, right?
This was my first bike shoot. I thought it was really good. It was fun. Taught me some balance.
I think Greg got better photos than me, though.
Oh, you look really sad.
I was banking on the Sigma lens to help me produce better photos. Actually, it's not about the gear, but I just pretend it's about the gear.
It's not about how the car drives, it's about who drives the car.
Correct. Yes, very good. Thank you everyone for watching, and subscribe if you haven't. Here we have two photos of Alyssa. Just remember the left hand side is always Nikon 85 1.4G and the right hand side is a Sigma 85 1.4 Art. Looking at sharpness, her eyes are very sharp on the 1.4G and not as sharp on the Sigma 85 1.4 Art. I think I must have missed focus. Remember, 1.4 is very shallow depth of field. But as you can see, it seems like the Sigma has better contrast. And this is what I've been noticing. Let's look at the next two pictures. Again, Sigma on the right hand side. As in color casting, both have pretty much the same color cast. The older 85 Sigma I used to use has a cooler color cast, but this is just changing. The light has been changing. But looking at sharpness, Nikon very sharp, Sigma very sharp. I think they're equal in sharpness. With bokeh, it's very hard to tell with the green foliage. They pretty much look the same, and a lot of pictures are very identical. Let's look at the last two photos for comparison. Again, Sigma on the right hand side. If you notice, the bokeh balls from the hotel lights on the Nikon are soft edges. Sigma is harsher edges. So some could say that the A5 1.4G has a better bokeh, better softer background or blurred background. Sharpness is very great on both lenses. Again, it's very hard to tell. If it was me, I would still keep the 85 1.4G Nikon if I had it in my camera bag. And it's good to go traveling with it because it is smaller than the Sigma 85 Art. If you're just getting into portrait photography and you want to get an 85, I would recommend getting the Sigma. You are going to need more or different filter sizes because the Sigma is 86mm filter thread and versus the Nikon it is 77mm filter thread. Both are around the same price point. Nikon used about $1,100. Sigma 85 Art brand new is $1,200. I think overall it's just more benefits just to get the Nikon. It's easier to travel with. Filter sizes stay the same, 77. Pictures are very hard to tell. It's the same pretty much to the Sigma 85 Art. Thank you.